Sabacic, and this is Humans of Tango, where we explore what tango has to teach through the experiences of those who dance, and in this case, sing it.
I cannot separate myself. Like, I'm the same during my life and during my singing, my whole career. It's very important to me to have an identity as a tango singer or tango producer. For example, my last album is only instrumental. I don't sing there. But it's very important to me to record this because I need to share my idea of tango with everyone. Like I need to have the whole repertoire made by women on Spotify.
Ya no tengo la dulzura de sus besos, vago sola por el mundo y sin amor. Otra boca más feliz era la dueña de esos besos que eran toda mi pasión. Hay momentos que no sé lo que me pasa, tengo ganas de reír y de llorar. Tengo celos, tengo miedo que no vuelva. Yo lo quiero, no lo puedo remediar.
Camila Arriva is on a mission to bring more women's voices to modern tango. The most obvious way she does this is with her own voice, which you just heard singing Cantando, a tango written in 1931 by singer, actress, composer, and lyricist Mercedes Simone. The recording is from the first album of Mujeres, an ongoing collaboration with 4 other female musicians to perform and record a repertoire of tangos composed, reversioned, and interpreted entirely by women. Camila is part of a broader movement in her native Argentina and in the global tango community to recognize and empower women in a traditionally patriarchal culture. A full exploration of feminism in tango is beyond our scope here, but if you're not familiar with this movement, I encourage you to start with some resources I linked in the show notes. Now, let's hear Camila describe how her mission was born.
Okay, the golden age, and
she's doing air quotes here.
Use my finger. The golden age in tango is the 40s, you know? And it's not a coincidence that in this period, we don't have women. We don't have singers. We don't have composers. We don't have players. In Argentina, we had a channel called Volver with a lot of movies in black and white, with a lot of tangos. And you can see Tita Merelo, Azucena Maizani, all these famous cancionistas, these famous singers. And one of the first things that I noticed on the milongas was, where are these female voices that I heard on the television, you know? And a lot of people told me in that moment that the female voices is not a very good combination with the orchestra. So why? Because of the sound, because of the instrument, because of why? And I, for a lot of months, I was telling this not true story, no? No, the female voices is not a good combination, and because of the sound, they were too loud or too high, or maybe it's another thing. And it was because of the role of the singer. They couldn't be outside from home. It makes sense.
I actually just interviewed a historian, like a Golden Age historian last week. Shout out to Michael Lavoca, who I should clarify doesn't call himself a historian, but does have serious expertise in Golden Age tango music, and who you can hear from in episode 21 of this podcast. And he was saying that people started dancing to singers more in the 40s, right? That like they started incorporating the singers into the milongas, having people perform live, and women couldn't go to like a dance hall and perform late at night, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So there were a lot of orchestras from señoritas, young ladies orchestras, but they played at 4 p.m., you know? They will be at home at 8.
And that constrained how famous they could get,
yes.
I guess.
Yes. our first tango in our repertoire is from Paquita Bernardo. This year has 100 years. Paquita Bernardo was the first bandoneonist player.
As in first professional female bandoneon player.
And she took Pugliese as the piano player of her band, for example.
And yes, Pugliese here refers to the tango superstar composer and pianist, Osvaldo Pugliese.
And she only lived 25 years. She died very, very soon. And she was so famous. And nobody knows her now.
What is the tango called?
This one is Soñando.
Soñando.
And this tango is famous because of Gardel, because Gardel recorded and nobody knows this tango. And it's unbelievable because during her time it was very famous.
Miro en mi cuarto tan pobre el retrato que me dieras y al contemplarlo.
So I think that during this 40s, this golden age, they try to put them away, Or Azucena Maizani, she has a lot of tangos made herself. Tita Merelo has two, and a lot of people don't know that she was a composer too. I think that there is a very difference between the typical tangos and the tangos made by women in general. In our repertoire, we cannot find this idea of he's a very bad one and I'm a poor girl because of he. Like, no. And this is something that I love. This is something that I have during my relationships too. I take care.
What themes do you notice in the lyrics of tangos by women?
They're not cruel. They had not violence inside. If you meet somebody on the street in Buenos Aires, the idea of tango is very macho song, and the women is always like we have two archetypes of women in tango. Everybody speaks about that. Like the mother, she's glorious, is how do you say, Santa.
A saint.
A saint.
Pure.
No? Yes, totally.
Could also be saintly or holy.
Like the religion, no? And the other one is like she's a prostitute, I took her from the suburbs and now she's like a very famous one and she's the worst one. And in our repertoire, we don't have this idea. We don't have two kind of men. Our father and our no.
It's not so simplified. Not so simplistic.
No. For sure, there is a lot of love songs, but it's okay. I don't care if you are with another one. I will be fine, with or without you.
Cantando yo le di mi corazón, mi amor, y desde que se fue, yo canto mi dolor, cantando lo encontré, cantando lo perdí, porque no sé llorar, cantando he de morir.
Camila heard and even sang some tango in her youth, but she didn't really get into it until she found herself missing home while studying classical music in Berlin, Germany, and decided to try tango dance classes.
It was so weird because nobody there knew that I was Argentinian, and they start to speak about the milongueras in Buenos Aires. Her posture is like that, and you have to make a small talk between tangos. They try to explain how is our culture, no, or how is a woman in the scene of tango. It was so fun. because for me it's like I never been in a milonga before, but in that moment I thought this is not real. 1 hour later, I spoke with the teacher and I told him I'm from Argentina and I'm totally disagree with that because
Ah,
we are not like that. We are not femme fatale
hmm.
in a milonga, you know. And that was my second class.
Luckily, Camila's frustration in that class didn't stop her from learning to dance and eventually becoming a professional tango singer, producer, and DJ. Camila lives in Buenos Aires now, but she was actually back in Berlin as part of a European tour when we spoke. Camila loves the word idiosyncrasy, which Cambridge defines as a strange or unusual habit, way of behaving, or feature. Camila uses the word on a cultural level to describe the small ways of being that make different cultures unique and how she sees those idiosyncrasies affect how tango is represented and experienced in different tango communities.
When I was here during my first year, I knew a lot of people that told me I'm not going to an Argentinian meetings or to milongas. I try to don't speak in Spanish because I try to be integrated with the new culture. For me, it was impossible, and I think that if I'm a very fan of Argentina now, it's because I was living here for 5 years. You know,
You appreciate
yeah,
it. You can see it from a different perspective having been away.
yeah, and it has a lot of meaning when you are in the tango scene. You know, because
Yeah.
of the language, the things that you share in a milonga, I don't know, drinks or food or stories or the way to dress. During my first year here, I took several lessons every week, and then 1 year later, I was in milonga for the first time in Buenos Aires, and it was unbelievable. Like a lot of noise between tangos. I made a lot of figures that I supposed to do, and the man
The
who
man who
was
was dancing
dancing
with
with
me
me,
goes,
no, we're just walking and relax, listen to music. And it was the first time that okay, like when you are in a party dancing cumbia, you know, you don't care if you make one thing or another thing. You're dancing. Like I don't know where are my feet when I'm dancing cumbia, for example.
if you're like me and don't know a ton about cumbia, I've left a few links in the show notes. But I think Camila's point has to do with her feeling that the idiosyncrasies and unique tango ecosystem in Buenos Aires left more room for true improvisation and presence than she experienced in Europe. This emphasis on improvisation and presence connects to another of Camila's passions: bringing more live music to tango dancing.
I love to dance with live music. It's like a game. When we are in a concert, I don't know, a rock concert, you're jumping, and if the band stop, you stop, and nobody cares. And in tango, it's supposed to be the same. So you have the beat, and when you don't have the beat, you stop. I think that the people is very acostumbrada.
You
Like
used to?
the people is used to hear the same orchestra again and again, and they know all the arrangements between the melodies. So this is the reason that we, 80 years después,
80 years after. A better translation is 80 years later.
we continue to put these tangos, no, on the milonga, because they know that plim plim, and you can plim plim make like that. We call in Buenos Aires, we call chingy chingy. They love the chingy chingy. Yeah, they love that something that they can make the choreography
Hmm.
in music in general. The first thing is rhythm, then melody, then harmony, then arrangements. And my music has rhythm. It's supposed to be on the same beat that the old orchestras. So why not? Because we don't make this plim plim, or we don't make the same version of this song that you know. The arrangements are made now by my pianist called Amalia Escobar. She plays in a lot of tanguerias. She has the tango on her blood, you know. So she knows how can it be more danceable. So I trust her, and even if we are, for example, for the next album, I propose her to make something not too much danceable, so make a slower beat to have these performances only in concerts. And it will be the first time for us, because this album will speak about Buenos Aires.
Elevating the contributions of women in tango's history is clearly a big part of Camila's mission. But reversioned classic tangos are only about 50% of the Mujeres repertoire. The other half are new tangos, written by contemporary artists like Veronica Bellini, who wrote Ni Una Menos, in solidarity with the movement to end violence against women that was sparked in Buenos Aires and spread throughout Latin America and beyond. These modern tangos, like every aspect of Camila's work from what I can tell, are both personal and political.
Ahora estamos juntas, ninguna está sola, lastimando a una, nos eriza todas, porque ya no existen dolores ajenos, hoy nos duele a todas, no habrá ni una menos, gritaremos fuerte por las que murieron, por las que callaron, las que no pudieron escapar a tiempo.
2015, it was a very big movement called Ni Una Menos, and then the feminism movement in tango was created, and a lot of things are happening right now. So it's important to show that movement too, for me, and to maybe keep the idea that you can choose between traditional and not traditional tango, but for sure they can
coexist,
convivir, they can live together. In Argentina, everything is very complex, and the culture is the last thing that we have to take care right now. It was clear.
Like people are not worrying about the culture because there are so many other problems.
Yes. So I think that it's a very first time that we don't have concerts coming up.
In Buenos Aires. You won't be performing in Buenos Aires.
Yeah. It's impossible to book something if they don't have the right budget. If you have to take a taxi with your instrument 2 ways, you spend the whole money that you won that night. For example, I have the whole arrangement of this new album, and I cannot record because we don't have the money to make it in the right way, you know. And I think that in tango we have a little atmosphere because during the summer season we had a lot of people that come from outside, so we have more dollars, and the milongas work very well. So during this summer was good enough. But now I'm a little afraid about the winter, and I'm a little afraid about the culture. I'm a little afraid about my family, a lot of things. So this is the other reason that I want to be here on October 2. Here or USA or Mexico or outside from Argentina. But it's not impossible. It's complicated because it's something new. Right now, in this particular moment, there are a lot of dancers, musicians, DJs touring because we have to be outside. we need money. So it's a thing that I'm saying to a lot of organizers right now. Try to give work to Argentinians. Try to make a balance with us because we need it and because we can teach you some things.
Virgencita milagrosa, perdóname si cantando esta canción que vive en mí, yo te pido que me traigas lo que es mío, que muy pronto y sin motivo lo perdí. Si es pecado querer tanto en esta vida, yo te pido de rodillas tu perdón. Yo lo quiero.
During this tour,
que me muero,
I cannot
si no tengo
make my repertoire. And I think that I'm losing power, you know. And I like a lot of tangos. I like one of my favorites is Tu, because I think that it's the most romantic one, you know. But when I sing this kind of tango, Tu or Buscándote or Vida Mía, it's not me singing. Yeah, one of my dreams is be here with the band and not fighting with the organizer if it's danceable or not danceable, if it's known or not known, or if it's useful or not useful for the milonga, you know. I need to be me during the shows when I'm choosing which tango I want to record. I think that during the first part of the Mujeres, I don't know, 3 years ago or something like that, and I was trying to get inside the very traditional milongas in Buenos Aires, you know, because I want to show my work. But now I'm okay. I don't call them at all because I had a lot of bad experiences, and I'm so proud of my work and my project, and it's like my little baby, you know. But I think that the world must change a little bit, not only the tango world, to respect this kind of work. So we have a lot of people that love our project inside the queer tango or inside 21st century tango, and they respect us. Maybe it sounds that I'm tired or I'm sad in this moment, but I'm so proud in another way that I can share this idea with a lot of people too. And now I'm receiving a lot of love and a lot of love from a lot of places that I didn't know, or I didn't think that I can receive this energy, no? So I'm very happy. And I think that it's the beginning of something bigger, you know. I see me like, how do you say hormiga in English?
Like a little ant.
Yeah, and who I am to say that or to share this idea. And I'm relaxed that I can change every day, and I'm searching a lot of tools to be better. Better singer, better producer, better person, woman.
Mil gracias, Camila, for your voice, your mission, and the 3 recordings from Mujeres that accompany this episode. Cantando, with music and lyrics by Mercedes Simone, and short clips of Soñando by Paquita Bernardo with lyrics by Eugenio Cárdenas, and Ni Una Menos by Verónica Bellini.